So right now I'm sharing my cloud account. As you can see, it's telling us this is actually associated to my builder account. And I have Courier here that's on trial. Like many of you, when you click into the tile, you may get to the screen. If you get to the screen by error, and I did this on purpose this time, just click on configurations. We're fixing that. Secondly, you have a couple options on the side here, as well as a couple options on the top. They match. The first thing you're going to want to do when creating Courier, no matter what, is to go into data connections. And as you can see here, I have no data connection. So to create a data connection, you're just going to select Quickbase from the application. It's going to bring up your account URL, and it's going to ask you, do you have a Quickbase user token? For me and for all of you, the answer should be yes. And it's going to ask for you to add the user token. So I'm logged into my builder account over here. For those of you who don't know, you can get your user token by saying hi, your name, my preferences, about halfway down the screen, manage my user tokens. And I have a bunch of bogus ones here assigned to this one app. I'm going to copy it and bring it over here and paste it in. If you see a space there, that's a good catch. Delete that. You're going to want to make sure it's just the user token across. And the connection name, test connection, something just for, to relate it for you. Once you have that connect, you'll have the data connection going forward. And then you could just click back into Courier from there. Now, when you want to add a mail server, obviously we have clients with a bunch of different options. For us, we use Office 365. So that's what I'm going to be showing today. But Justin, if you wouldn't mind, I know I sent you a couple links, especially the ones regarding Gmail. Something I wanted to touch upon, and Justin, if maybe you could either share the link or maybe steal the share.
I'll toss the links in the chat for anyone who wants to take a look.
I think I might pull one of them up because especially the Gmail one is important to know. For Gmail, we actually are required to use app password. So when I click this create mail server, you're going to see the options we need here. One of those being password. For us to connect to your mail server, we do need a password. But with Google, most recently, this is the other one with Gmail, actually, Justin. For this one, you actually see there's a notice here, less secure apps with your Google account. So starting May 30th, 2022, Google no longer supports third-party apps and devices when signing into your account. Technically, that is us. So this did affect us. So if you're trying to log in or connect to your mail server with a Gmail mail server, you do need to create an app password. Like Justin just did, he sent in the link, so you guys can all take a look for yourself. This all will be part of the help site. With signing in with the app password, it's going to be asking you to put on two-factor authentication. Many of us have already done this for different apps along the way, different social medias. It's just being able to have a phone call or a text message with a code sent back to you. That might be a security change for your Gmail account, but that is required to sign in with app passwords. And that will create a cryptic password for us to use, almost similar to a user token. And that is the only way to do Gmail. There's other options, such as Proofpoint, that also require this. And I think I also sent a link to Justin for Proofpoint. Outlook and Office 365 have not required this yet, but as organizations try to continue to buff up their security, I'm sure they will require app passwords as well in the near future. And there's the Proofpoint one. Thank you, Justin. And these are all from their help sites. We actually can't necessarily say we know every single company's security settings. So this might be something where you have to get your IT team involved in. Now, to point to something that we have as an available option that we don't necessarily highlight as much as we should, we can also give you a semi-branded email account that you can send from, which is a step up from notify at Quickbase, mail.com. I believe that's what it is. We can do actually your company name at quickbasemail.com. And that gives you more control. You can actually get statistics from the mail, which we cannot do with the mail server. And it's easier than necessarily connecting straight to your mail server like this if you're not an IT expert or your company, has specific security settings that you'd like. So that's an option, and I actually don't have any configurations to show that on. So let me add a new one quick, just so I can show you where you would go to do that. Remember, I'm just filling in quick data for you guys just to get to the next step. So the option I just spoke about would be from the from email. Instead of use your own mail server, we'd be using a specific email address. And we'd provide you that email address. You would just have to reach out to us and say that you're interested in getting the semi-branded email address, and we'd provide that to you. So it's a much easier option than adding the mail server if, again, you're not that IT expert. But if you do have your own mail server, you would select that option and then select the mail server here, which we will do right now. So when I go to create our mail server, we do need SMTP settings. So for us, it's smtp.office365.cm. Server display name, support. Username is support at Tech. I'm not going to share our password with you guys. For us, the port is 587. I believe the port's going to be 587 for most SMTP configurations. We do have encryption method on. And the mail server, we're going to just do use the mail server user email address for us. But we do have other options where if you wanted to have it come from a specific field, like if you have several different salespeople that you want to have emails sent from and they want to send out quotes or invoices through there, you can select which user sent it to actually display as that's who sent the email. If that's something you're interested in, we'd be happy to discuss that further. Once you have all of your settings in here, you're just going to hit test mail server settings, and I'm going to put in my email address to send the sample email to. And when you press test, you should get a green success message. Now, hypothetically, if I were to do, 25 as my port and I hit test, well, I guess that was successful too. I did try to use a valid one. Let's do something like XYZ. You do get an error message here if something's incorrect. So if you're getting these red error messages, and if you've tried in the past and the red error message came up on the bottom, this is newer, more precise way of identifying the error and at least letting it stay on your screen so you can read it for longer. And then just as, just proof of concept, I did get that test email. This email is being sent using your mail server credentials that you've entered in the Juice Cloud. That's just for continuity, knowing that you did receive that email and that it is working. And that is the mail server. Yep, so doesn't need to take up too much time. That is adding your mail server. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, and one thing is you do have to hit save